Okay, so this is just a little video about a contact system that we've made. So I've got it open here. And we've been paying for a system that emails parents things like newsletters and letters that need to go home, stuff like that. And they also appear on the website as a shared Google document so that anybody can just look on the website and find these things. But we wanted something going into parents' inboxes as well. And we've been paying for a system which does this, and we've not been desperately happy with it. So we thought we'd build our own. And this would work, I think, for a small to medium-sized school. It won't work for a sort of supersized school because of some of the limitations of the system I'm just going to demonstrate. But this is a Google Sheet that's got the add-on Formmule added. It's got a tab here for all of the students and the parental emails and contacts details from our MIS. So we run a report and then paste it into this sheet. It's also got a list of our tutor groups. So there we go. There are all the tutor groups in the school. I put in a tab called Selector because I want this to be simple for the end user to use. They don't need to know anything about Formmule or anything like that. All they need to do is choose who they want to email and construct a message and click on go, basically. I don't want anything more complicated than that. So this is a little sort of dashboard that I've created for the end user. So they simply select whether they want to email everybody, or they don't want to email everybody. They might want to just email the year group. So they select a year group, or they might just want to email a particular tutor group. So I've got 12, 13, R and I. That happens to be my tutor group selected at the moment. Now if I go onto this mail tab here, this tells you what's going on. So over here you've actually got the names. So I'm hiding those, but these are my year 12 and 13 that are in my tutor group. And this is the Formmule status. So when you click on go, basically this will populate and tell you which ones have had emails sent to them. What's been hidden here are a number of formulas that populate columns, about 6 or 7 columns, using some formula based on what the end user puts in here. So what does the end user put in here? The end user can put up to 5 links to 5 documents for the users. So these would be Google documents which are shared with anybody who's got the link. So you just paste the link into here. So that letter is one about uniform, and this is where you put the name of the letter, and then you put the next link in there, type in the name of the letter. So simple stuff for the end user. You just copy and paste a URL letter and put in the name. What this does in the background, if I just unhide these cells, is just construct a little bit of HTML which Formmule uses to generate a hyperlink that the user can click on, called uniform letters, that links to that Google document. But the end user never has to do anything on there. So the other thing the person would do is type in the name of the email subject, so in this case school uniform, and in here the message would go in here. And I put a little note here saying that this can be just plain text like it is at the moment, or you could create a nice letter or a message in Google Documents, and then you can save that as HTML, open it up in Notepad and copy the HTML directly into there. You don't need to know anything about HTML, you just copy and paste, and the email will be formatted as the document with the fonts and all the rest of it, and it looks quite nice. So that's all the end user has to do, other than we go into here and then we go to tools. Oops, there you go, Formmule. We crack open Formmule. I'll show you the settings I've got in Formmule to do this. Okay, so we're looking in the mail sheet for our data, and I've got some one condition here, I've got a hidden formula which asks the question, are we going to send this? Because our MIS does not have email addresses for every parent, and sometimes there's duplicates and there's other things. So there's a little formula that decides, well, do we really want to send an email address to this email address? And it looks only to send when there's a Y in that particular column. Okay, so I've got a column called question mark. So one nice thing about Formmule is that you can put conditions in, so you don't just blindly send an email to every single thing on the sheet or attempt to do that. So this one will only send, there's probably about 20 there, and it'll 30 there, and it'll probably only send about 18 or so emails. Okay. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. So it sends an email to a home email address and a work email address if there is one. Otherwise, that will just be blank. And it also sends an email to the student because it's got all the student emails in there. So BCC is the student in. And it sets an auto reply. So if you try and reply to it, it doesn't reply to this sort of contact user. It replies to the school office. And it puts the subject in there, the email text, which can be HTML. And then it puts in that little bit of HTML, so it puts up to 5 hyperlinks to 5 documents in there. That's kind of it. It's relatively simple to use. So I just close that. So an end user, all they have to do is click on, preview and send all. And it will send emails to these people. I'm not going to preview it because that will actually start pulling up people's names. But perhaps not as slick as some commercial products, but it costs nothing. The only downside of this is Formmule has a quota of 1,500 emails per user per day. So if you've got a lot of people in a school, then obviously this won't work. At least it won't work for one user. And because we might want to use it several times in a day, I might end up creating a second user for this. But it's a fun thing to try. It's still a little bit experimental, and we'll see how robust it ends up being. But it just demonstrates what you can do with a little bit of imagination, I guess, in a Google Sheet. Okay, hopefully you found that interesting.